How's it flying, guys? Lance Corporal Hawk 30 here, and one sec. Oh, that's not what I want. That's what I want. Okay. Hopefully the internet connection is not too bad. But how's it flying, guys? Lance Corporal Hawk 30 here, and happy Independence Day, everybody. And during this catch-up period, there's still a lot of videos of his that I need to a lot of videos of the Fat Electricians I need to catch up on, both on his main channel and the Fat Files channel. And I was kind of looking at what exactly would maybe fit with kind of Independence Day in some ways. And really, I'm kind of on a bit of a time crunch right now, because the better options would require longer recording times, and I want to try to get this video out today for Independence Day. But I gotta meet up with my dad within a couple of hours, so not only... I've got to leave the house in just over an hour, so I needed to pick a shorter video that I wasn't going to talk about too long on. So, we're going with his Fat Files Waffle House video, The Roman Colosseum of the South. Yeah, that's what we're going with for Independence Day. I'm sorry I didn't pick something more fitting, like catching up on the John Paul Jones video, for example, would have been more fitting, or the Battle of Athens video would have been much more fitting, I think, in the theme of independence. But we're going with Waffle House, the Roman Colosseum of the South. So, yeah, I need to get better about catching up on these, and the slight unfortunateness of it is that this month in particular, I'm going to be very pushed to find time for this, because my work schedule has changed yet again. Now, instead of 3 days off in a week, I'm only getting 2 days off in a week. So, from work. So, but anyways, I'm going to stop. This is not about me. This is about the Fat Electrician and his Fat Files channel. In this video, Waffle House, Roman Colosseum. So I'm going to stop blathering on. I'm just going to go ahead and get into this. Link to the original video will be in the description. Please make sure you've seen it before you watch my reaction to it. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and go.
Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. I actually debated on which channel I was going to upload this video on, because on one hand, we're going over a business and the business model that it has, but on the other hand, this restaurant is basically the Roman Colosseum of the South, and I'm pretty sure if you eat there enough, you actually get a deployment patch from the U.S. military. Regardless, I wore my schnazziest tank top for the occasion.
Okay, then.
Today we're talking about Waffle House.
All right.
Okay, just to be completely clear with everybody, I was pretty sure I was not going to get caught off guard, because Waffle House is already absolutely crazy. I started looking into it and then found out that Waffle House is somehow connected to the Manhattan Project from World War II. So they managed to actually surprise me, and we're going to get to it right after.
Yeah, this surprised me too. What?
Yeah, babe, what's up?
Hey, I need a boombox.
Okay, I can go get you one.
Perfect.
All right, I'll go get it now. Love you.
Love you.
All right, bye.
1 hour later.
Where's that boombox that I asked for?
Oh, it's right here. I got it for you.
What is this?
The boombox.
Okay.
No, I wanted something to play music with.
Oh, that kind of boombox. Yeah, I got this instead.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
recycling.
we'll go to the store and get me a boombox so I can listen to music.
Can I keep this one still?
I don't care.
This video is brought to you by Delete Me.
Yeah, Delete
Okay,
Me.
Super simple business
Delete
model.
Me.
You give
So
them
he's
money, they
reused
turn
this
around and
one.
They make sure that online data brokers
I like
are
that
not
shirt, by the way.
selling
My
your personal
autism hates
information
communism.
online.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal. Pretty much anytime you use a free service on the internet and you click that little box.
So
that
because
says
I already
agree
have
to the
this
terms and
service,
conditions, you've basically just
plus I'm
agreed
pretty
to
sure
allow
he's
them to
recycled this
harvest
exact
as much of
one
your
already.
personal information as humanly possible. They then turn around and sell that to online data brokers, and that's how they can.
What was
afford
I
to
even
offer
going
you
to
a
say?
Free service. But when you have Delete Me, they go and they monitor all
Oh,
of these
man,
online
I can't
data
even
brokers
remember
for your
what I
personal
was going to
information, and then if they find it,
say.
they submit all the opt-out forms
I
on your
hate
behalf,
my
so they have to
short-term
take down
memory
and stop
crap.
selling that information. So when you buy Delete Me, you're not actually buying anything. You're just buying your way out of all the negative consequences of all the free shit that you've already gotten. And because they continue to monitor those data brokers, you're buying yourself out of all the future negative consequences of all the
Never
free
mind.
shit that you haven't even gotten
Whatever.
yet. So if you want to give Delete Me a try, there's going to be a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, Waffle House.
Okay,
This story
please, let's
begins
get
with
back
a
to it.
gentleman by the name of Tom Faulkner. This man graduated from law school at 23 years old, passed the bar, and immediately gets drafted in 1940 in the days leading up to World War II. Because he graduated from college, he's presented with two different options. He can A, go straight into officer training, and that's a 3-year commitment, or he can just be a normal draftee and go in as an enlisted soldier, and that is a 1-year commitment. Now you gotta remember, at this point
Really?
in time, like
Only 1 year?
1940, while World War II is currently going on, America's not involved yet. The attack on Pearl
Right.
Harbor has not
Not for
happened.
another
And
year.
prior prior to the attack on Pearl Harbor, the American people did not want to go to war. Because of that, Tom Faulkner figures, hey, we're not actually going off to war. I don't want to waste 3 years of my time just being in the military, not actually, you know, fighting a war or whatever. So he chooses to be a draftee. Goes into the military as an enlisted soldier, E1 private. From there, goes off to basic training. As soon as he gets through basic training, the attack on Pearl Harbor ends up happening. America enters the war. He immediately opts to go into OCS training and commits for 3 years. After he completes the officer training course,
so he
actually
does
gets slotted to be a counterintelligence officer where he does, and I quote, a lot of top secret stuff.
You see, my identity must remain mysterious and my mission secret. I cannot reveal it to you.
You can actually tell in the interviews that he gave later on in his life, like in his 70s, 80s, and 90s, that he's still not sure what he is and what he isn't allowed to talk about. But he did end up telling us that basically it was his job to try to sneak onto military bases, not as military personnel. So he would basically disguise himself as like a painter or a carpenter or whatever and try to infiltrate a U.S. military base to expose weaknesses within the system to help counteract enemy spies.
I was just about to say, yeah, basically what Ching Lee was doing, right? Isn't that what Ching Lee did at multiple points? Like, not even, like, I know Ching Lee had a fake ID that he would just flash at people, and one of them even had Adolf Hitler at one point, and he basically just dress him down whenever he just got let in. Like, are you kidding me? You're just letting me in. You're not even checking to make sure. And I'm guessing this is one of those guys. This guy was doing something very similar, just making sure. It's like, okay, do you got clearance? No? Well, they want, yeah.
So he does that for a couple of years, and then one day he ends up getting orders like, hey, you're going to Knoxville, Tennessee. And he's like, okay, for what? And they're like, don't fucking worry about it, just show up. So he shows up in Tennessee, and he's given his orders, and those orders, I'm paraphrasing here, but they're essentially, hey, here's your partner. You two are going to hop in that truck, and you are going to drive it from Knoxville, Tennessee to Los Alamos, New Mexico. You guys are going to dress in plain clothes. You're not going to look at what's inside the truck. You're not going to talk about what's inside the truck. You're going to take this map and take that exact route. This route avoids every major city and every major highway. You were going to drive straight there 53 hours straight, taking turns sleeping in the passenger seat and not stopping for any reason whatsoever. And he does this for the next year and a half, pretty much non-stop. And then like 30 years after the fact, he finds out that he was actually hauling the majority of the enriched uranium for all of the nuclear testing and the building of nuclear weapons. Which, as we all know, brings about the end of World War II, at which point he gets out of the military, moves back home to Atlanta, Georgia, starts helping his dad out with his real estate agency. Now he does that for about 10 years, and during this time,
he probably mentioned earlier on that this guy was born in Georgia at some point. I just, for some reason, just missed it.
he ends up selling the house right next door to his to another guy by the name of Joe Rogers, and they pretty much become best friends. Joe Rogers was also an Army veteran. He was actually a pilot that flew B-24s in World War II. When Joe got back home after the war, he did not want to go off to college, so he actually just took the first job that he was offered, being a short order cook at a now defunct restaurant chain known as Toddle House. He worked his way up, becoming a restaurant manager, then eventually becoming a regional manager. And then one day, his neighbor and best friend, Tom Faulkner, real estate agent, always looking for the next investment, comes to him and is like, hey, I'm thinking about opening up my own restaurant. I can get the real estate deal going on that side. I just wanted to know, like, if I opened up and bought a franchise of Toddle House, would you be willing to run it for me? Now, at this point, it's like 1954, 1955. Joe Rogers has a ton of experience inside the restaurant industry, and he basically tells his best friend, like, hey, don't open a Toddle House. You should start your own thing. Toddle House's business model isn't that great. If you start your own restaurant, I will help you run it. He then goes off on vacation with his family, and by the time he comes back, Tom Faulkner has already bought the real estate and comes to Rogers and is like, cool, what's the business we're starting?
Where's Pancake's house?
What?
We stop at Pancake's house.
And within the span of like 6 months, the
first Waffle House. Okay. Huh. So Waffle House, I'm guessing, began in Georgia? Or is he about to say, hold on?
very first of what is now the legendary restaurant chain of Waffle House opens. And Waffle House is legendary, probably for all the wrong reasons. I mean, even if you've never been to a Waffle House, you've heard about Waffle House because, well, I mean, Kid Rock got in a fight there. You've got Hayden,
oh, really?
the viral Waffle House cook known as the last chairbender.
Oh, I know some things about Waffle House, and I know obviously with the title like Roman Colosseum of the South, yeah, there's going to be a lot of fights there. But I also know that they are a national... They're a national weather warning system, basically. If Waffle House shuts down, run. And as somebody that's been back in the South for a few years now, I've definitely learned that firsthand. My cousin was calling me during this last hurricane saying, dude, they shut down the Waffle House. Oh, that if you hear that the Waffle House is shut down, that's cue for bunker down.
Subreddits and YouTube channels almost exclusively dedicated to all the fights that break out at Waffle House. I remember the first time I went to a Waffle House, I stretched first, I grabbed a GoPro, I was ready to yell World Star, Nothing exciting happened. I just had delicious breakfast at like 3 o'clock in the morning, which is probably 99% of people's experiences, because despite all of the negative PR, Waffle House makes a ton of money and has an incredible business model. Okay, Waffle House had about $1.4 billion in revenue last year, which is about $650,000 per location. And when you take into consideration that each Waffle House is absolutely tiny, that's really impressive. Out of their 2,100 tiny Waffle House locations, their yearly stats
they're really not
58
big.
million cups of coffee, 124 million waffles, 153 million servings of hash browns, 272 million eggs, which is about 2% of all the eggs consumed in the United States of America, and 85 million strips of bacon. Yes, I did the math. That is about 8,000 miles worth of bacon.
I worry what you just heard was, give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
So Waffle House is obviously doing something right. What exactly are they doing? Well, it all comes down to their business model and their branding. Now, with the Waffle House branding, all the negative PR about fights always breaking out at Waffle House, in a way, has actually helped them out a ton, because Waffle House, by and large, is pretty much a regional chain. It's primarily down in the South.
Yeah, let's compare. Let's find where the biggest one is. I'm already seeing 140 in Eastern Tennessee alone. Is that Tennessee? Wait, no, that's North Carolina. Never mind. Okay, so let me see here. 112 in... I can't tell if that's supposed to be Northern Kentucky. I think that's just the side of Kentucky. 150 is the high point I'm seeing. Never mind. I thought I was saying like, 150, that's a lot. And then I see in the Atlanta region alone, 462. I mean, yeah, it started there, so it makes sense the most would be in that area. Obviously, it's not all 462 in just that one city, spread out in the regional sector, or the district, rather. But, yeesh. Looking further and further away, I'm seeing like there's only 15 in Arizona, 10 in Colorado, 4 in the northern part of Texas, and et cetera, et cetera. You go through and you see just spattered numbers. What's the minimal amount? There's only 4 in Pennsylvania, 4 in western Kentucky. Really? Only 5 between Nashville and Knoxville? I would have thought there'd be more in Tennessee. Unless, well, the 150 at the top of Alabama is probably overlapping with Tennessee a lot there. But anyways. So 4 is looking like the low ball in a district. But yeah, basically it is, despite it going as far north as near Cleveland and upper Pennsylvania, it is largely a southern thing.
Yet, Waffle House has become a household name pretty much everywhere in America. You could have never even seen a Waffle House, and you already know Waffle House is open 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and they serve breakfast. Why do you know they serve breakfast? Because their name is fucking Waffle House.
It's a Waffle
I mean, look at the sign. You're driving down the road, you see that, you know everything you need to know. They sell breakfast. The end. Do that with another breakfast place. If you're not from there and you don't know what a Denny's or a Perkins or an IHOP is, you have no idea. It's just a restaurant, maybe. Waffle House, they're selling waffles, which means there's like a 99% chance they sell other breakfast food. Fucking sold. I'm in. So already, the
yeah,
branding
fair.
is absolutely incredible, but here's the true genius of it. Why did they call it Waffle House? Why didn't they call it Breakfast House or Bacon House or Hash Brown House? It's because waffles had the highest profit margin. I cannot stress to you enough how absolutely genius that is, right? Because you don't need to sell breakfast, all right? Everybody's already in on breakfast, okay? I
yeah,
could be
fair enough.
blackout drunk at 4 in the morning, and you could ask me, hey, do you want breakfast? I'm coming up like the Undertaker every single time. And then you go, the only thing open right now is Waffle House, okay? I was already sold on breakfast from the get-go, but because Waffle House is where we're going, guess what I'm getting? A motherfucking waffle, and they're making more money. It makes sense that Tom Faulkner was a counterintelligence officer.
I can't remember if I had I don't believe I've had waffles the past few times I went to Waffle House. I usually got something like a something like their like a breakfast bowl with the egg grits and stuff like that, like a loaded hash brown bowl. I'm pretty sure is what I would get. The last time I got pancakes from anywhere, I believe it actually was IHOP. But at least from pancakes that I ordered, I actually made the last batch of pancakes that I had, and they turned out pretty good. Anyways.
Because the man literally said 2 words and has already subconsciously tricked you into ordering the most expensive thing on the menu that makes him the most money. So the branding of Waffle House is both
really the
simple
most expensive
and brilliant, and the rest of the business model matches that to a T. Okay, all Waffle Houses are like virtually identical. They're very small. They only seat like 30 people, and you can actually see the cook making you your food. Now at a glance, you're just like, oh, they're just going for that like 1950s drive-through type of a vibe, which they are, but there's way more to it.
Part of it.
Because the restaurant is so small, the kitchen never has the opportunity to get bogged down, meaning that they're moving tables very, very quickly. So instead of having one kitchen and 100 customers, you've got one kitchen and 30 customers, and you can just turn those tables over 3 times faster, which pretty much guarantees that every customer is going to get exactly what they wanted. Okay, they're not going in there for 5-star dining. They're going in there because they're hungry and they want breakfast, and now they're going to get breakfast really quick in a small setting that doesn't feel like a packed restaurant where they have to wait in line to be seated. And I know what you're thinking. What if one Waffle House just reaches its maximum capacity, right? What if it's just completely full with a line out the door 24/7 every day of the year? Waffle House surely would build a bigger Waffle House, right? No, we're gonna take the same parking lot, and right next to that first Waffle House, we're gonna build a second fucking Waffle.
Really? Really? They just make another Waffle House. It's like, okay, we're packed down more than once. Okay, we're just building another one right there.
House, okay? The plan is working, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. Which is one of those things that seems dumb, but is actually brilliant. So obviously, speed is key to this business model, and they've done themselves a big favor with their menu, because their menu is overwhelmingly simple, okay? It's literally one side of one piece of paper. Okay, the entire menu is comprised of like 10 things. They have waffles, sausage, bacon, ham, eggs, toast, biscuits, gravy, butter, and syrup. Guess how many flavors of syrup they have? 1. It's fucking syrup-flavored syrup. The entire menu is simple, exactly how it's supposed to be.
Although they do have chicken sandwiches and burgers as well now. So that is, it's not exclusively breakfast anymore, but still.
Oh, sorry, they have hash browns too. Sorry, 11 things, not 10. Anyways, moving on. Another reason they do so good is they actually might be the best fast food chain when it comes to taking care of their employees. They pay them higher than average, they have super flexible schedules, and they're one of, if not the only fast food chain that actually offers all their employees healthcare and dental insurance. Okay, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, but really, how good are they actually treating the Waffle House employees? I got the one stat that's everything you need to know, okay? Waffle House treats their employees so well that employees are willing to commute into a natural disaster to work at a different Waffle House when the occasion arises. Yeah, Waffle House is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and they fucking mean it, okay? Whenever there's like a hurricane coming or some type of impending natural disaster, Waffle House organizes what they call a jump team, a bunch of Waffle House employees from a different region that's going to be unaffected, because they know that their local employees are going to be busy taking care of their own family and their own houses during a hurricane, so they bring in teams from outside the region to work inside of a natural fucking disaster, and they're willing to do it.
I never said thank you.
Wow.
And you'll never have to.
I didn't even know that part of
Okay,
it.
McDonald's can barely get their employees to show up on a good day, and Waffle House has employees volunteering to commute into a fucking hurricane to make breakfast. And this is the most impressive part of the business because Waffle House has the best logistics and preparedness of any company I've ever seen.
Yeah, no
ever.
kidding.
The only entity that beats them in logistical capacity is the United States military. Waffle House is literally ready for absolutely anything. Every single Waffle House has the playbook inside of it that details exactly how the staff is supposed to handle literally any type of emergency or situation that could possibly arise. And if for some reason the situation comes across that isn't in that playbook, after it happens, they immediately add it to the playbook. It covers tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, a hole in the roof from a branch falling, a car driving into the restaurant. You can drive a car into Waffle House and they're still planning on staying open. The playbook even has detailed plans for every type of disaster for what the local employees, while they're not working, should go home and do to make sure that their house and their family are safe as well.
Okay, I probably should have paused to get my thoughts out about that jump team thing a little bit more, but that is extremely impressive, and that in multiple ways, that you've got employees that are willing to drive to commute from their regular location to danger zones to allow for the local teams to go get their affairs in order for whatever's coming. That I didn't even know that. But I do know that they do in fact close if the weather event is in fact bad enough. And I hope he says that, because that is an important aspect. Like, they're not going to force them to stay open when it's a really bad situation. Like, if it's worse than average, yeah. But if it's really, really bad, like a Cat 4, Cat 5, yeah, everybody's getting out.
Every single Waffle House has a backup generator. The stovetop, it runs on propane, and they have a bunch of extra propane tanks on
accessories.
hand. Flashlights, candles, batteries, backup water. They have a special menu of what they're able to serve when the water is out and they're running on reserve water. When a Waffle House location is going to be in a disaster area, that Waffle House stocks up on extra food, and then all of the neighboring locations in the unaffected area also stock up and stage food there to give them more food when they need it. If Waffle House is a standing structure, those motherfuckers are serving breakfast come hell or high water.
I'm not leaving.
Waffle House during
I'm not leaving.
I mean, during a Cat 5, they do. They do actually leave during a Cat 5.
Waffle House is so good at this that FEMA uses them to gauge how bad natural disasters really are.
They do.
FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, literally uses the Waffle House Index to gauge how bad a disaster is. Okay, green, Waffle House is running as normal. Yellow, Waffle House is using the backup generator or having to use an altered menu. Red, Waffle House is closed. People are probably already fucking dead by that point. Waffle House is literally the Terminator of the fast food industry, okay? The fact that the federal government, probably the most powerful entity on the planet, maybe ever, looks at a chain of restaurants and is like, man, if Waffle House is closed, we need to mobilize the National Guard, is fucking crazy. Now, maybe you guys are thinking the same thing I was at this point in my research, and I'm like, man, I need to invest in this company. I need to see if I can open up my own Waffle House franchise. This company's awesome. And this is where the bad news comes in. I mean, technically you can franchise a Waffle House, but most of us probably can't. The company is privately owned. It's not on the stock market. It's still owned by the families of the original two founders.
Ultimately, probably for the best.
Franchises, they are super picky about who they let buy in to have a franchise, and they make it very, very expensive to buy in to make sure this is actually what you want. And while that is unfortunate, I think it's actually kind of awesome. It's a company that actually has morals and cares about their image more than they care about next quarter's profits, okay? It's a company that has committed themselves to making breakfast under any circumstances, and they're gonna see that through till the very end, even though they could probably make way more money by just selling franchises and letting whoever the fuck throw up a Waffle House. And now for the fairy tale ending, Joe and Tom worked together as best friends for 62 years to build Waffle House into what it is today. They both passed away at the ages of 97 and 98, and now Waffle House and their legacy lives on as that company is still being operated by their kids. And that is the American dream. Get together with one of your best friends, pick a goal, even if it's something as simple as serving breakfast to people, and never let anything get in between you and achieving your goal, even hurricanes and floods and natural
Yeah, no
disasters,
kidding.
apparently. Work with your best buddy for 62 years straight and then die together and hand it off to your kids. In conclusion, Waffle House is
the
the
American
most
dream,
American
like you
company
said.
ever, and that's why I love it. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel.
Wait,
is
so most
go
West
Waffle
company?
House is the most American company ever, and
Most
that's why I
American
love it.
company.
Thank you for watching. Best way to
In
support
a lot
the
of
channel is
ways,
go buy some
yeah.
merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
In a lot of ways, the American company.
Just two homies that dedicated their life to serving my drunk ass breakfast at 3 a.m. I'm gonna get teary-eyed next time I go to a Waffle House.
Yeah, the closest Waffle House is that I know of is a couple of miles away from where I work. There's a Waffle House a few miles away from there. And the only thing is, I don't know if they deliver. Well, they do deliver through their own app, I'm pretty sure. But I primarily use DoorDash, so they're not on DoorDash. Yeah, they're not on DoorDash. So I just rarely think about it. But, yeah. So, it turns out I did pick a good one. I did, in fact, pick a good video to kind of encapsulate some of the 4th of July a little bit, because it's a very American company, made by started by some very American men who just have implemented very, very good work ethic and morals in their business structure, and made sure that their people are taken care of. So this is a good video overall. Very good video. Anywho, I have got to get going. I've got to get this video edited together and start uploading before I head out. And I hope and pray everybody has a very blessed 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to everybody. To my fellow Americans and everybody that's not. And Americans, you know, just have a happy 4th regardless. Have a happy day. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video. What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like if you enjoyed, comment your favorite part of this story, subscribe if you're new, and tap the bell to get notified whenever I upload videos so you don't miss the reactions, gameplay, or otherwise from me. Also, go check out my Discord. Link is in the description. Come join me. We'll talk. Post memes, songs, videos, artwork. You can self-promote your own stuff and just have some fun. This has been Lance Corporal Hawk 30, signing off.